Measurement. Measurement has been keeping the industry up at night for a while. Does digital measurement, or measurement generally, cross-screen, television, does it keep you up at night?
Keep me up at night? It is an absolute acute crisis, whether it is on the, let's call it, TV side, or actually, quite frankly, on the digital side as well. And it is really incredible to me. What keeps me mostly up at night is the need and the lack of leadership in this area of fixing the measurement situation. Now, if you read an article, I think a couple of weeks ago, that Sir Martin Sorrell wrote, he talked about how dysfunctional measurement is today. Now, if any of you have heard Sir Martin speak, he's quite articulate and he's a Brit, so he's very, very polite. You know me, I'm not that polite. So I talk about measurement very, very differently than Sir Martin. But if you think about it on the TV side, our company estimates anywhere from a low of 12% to a high of 30% of viewership remains unmeasured today as we sit here today. Now, when I do get some sleep, I do hope one day I wake up and Nielsen is able to actually measure cross-platform viewership. But today, we can't do it. So I can't help our marketing customers as much as I would like to and deliver those outcomes that I talked about. So for example, because of that frustration, we took, for the first time and for any company in the industry, we said, we can't take it anymore. And we're taking CNBC as of October 1st, so this week, oh, very exciting, off of Nielsen. And are delivering a new metric because we couldn't wait any longer for Nielsen to measure out-of-home viewing.
And so tell us about the metric. What are you actually going to be using?
We're partnering with a company called Cogent Reports. So if you can imagine, CNBC Business Day is actually a utility for people who use it. So whether you are TD Ameritrade or you're Mercedes, the consumer you're trying to reach is an upscale consumer, a financial advisor, or very, very financially savvy business expert. So you don't really buy spots on CNBC to get a C3 rating. And if any of you, I'm not sure if anyone would guess appropriately, but the current sample for CNBC's C3 rating is determined by 9 homes. 9 homes, and God forbid that guy goes on vacation in the summer, my ratings go down about 20%. So anyway, so not only are 9 homes an inappropriate estimate or sample to determine an entire nationally distributed cable network's rating, the people who really consume it are in the corner offices, in health clubs, on the trading floor, in their advisor offices with their financial clients. So it made no sense at all. So we partnered with Cogent Reports, spent about 18 months delivering a methodology, or developing a methodology so we could give to our advertising clients appropriate behavioral metrics and guarantees that actually proved running your spots on CNBC was incredibly valuable. And you know, look, I'm happy to report we just came out of the broadcast up front with full marketplace compliance to move off of Nielsen to Cogent Reports. So I think they are convinced that nothing bad's going to happen. And you know what? What does that current C3 rating really tell me about the CNBC audience?
You think it works, or you think it'll work because CNBC is a highly vertical network, and the vertical itself is actually very special. It's financial services?
I think that, yes, that's the partial answer. And I also think that it was a very, believe me, not a coincidence, strategic first step for us to take that jump or leap in leadership for the marketplace and say, nothing bad's going to happen. We can live without a C3 rating. Best place first to go is CNBC. Then let's start having other conversations. And I would say that you could see on the horizon for live events like news and sports, we should really be talking about other metrics as well.
Interesting. So you can kind of see this as the beginning of
And maybe by then we'll have cross-platform measurement. But I don't want to forget about digital, because the report card and the standards in television are extremely high. And it seems somehow the press, and I apologize in advance for the press in the room, but the headlines every day, you know, TV versus digital, digital this, shiny new toy of that. The measurement standards in television are so incredibly high. And it's very, very difficult to sit there and look at a company like NBCUniversal that sits high on this premium content mountain and then look at what's going on with the need to prove efficacy in digital, self-reported metrics, bots, viewability, fraud. I'm glad to see that those conversations are finally surfacing. And if you look at some of the new reports, I think that came out this week, where premium content or ad-supported premium content reduces fraud by over 90%.
Yeah, it was a big,
so I'm
big
not
number.
really sure why it's this us versus them war that's going on, and I understand that TV budgets are a zero-sum game, and there's billions and billions of dollars that are allocated for TV budgets, but there's a reason for that. And there's a big difference than when you're scrolling through your screen and how much do you really watch, than when you're holding your breath and watching a piece of premium content that stays with you. And you go to work the next day and you say, did you see what happened on Mr. Robot? Or did you watch the finale of Mad Men? Or high-five your friend about your favorite sports team? That's the difference. And there's no argument when it comes to an advertiser, but we need help to help prove that ROI and that investment. And it's time for the industry to coalesce and come together and fix it.
Well, it is being fixed, but the problem, I think, is that
Going a little slow.
It is painstaking.